Today I'm going to talk about how to replace fear with confidence. And I'm going to tell you my stories, how I did that. First of all, when I asked my mother to leave the country and travel on my own, how I felt fear and how I did overcome it. But number one is asking my mother at the age of 13 to leave the country, to go by my own, to discover life by myself. And of course there was this fear, but I replaced this with confidence. And that confidence is my own imagination within me that I'm going to be a scientist. I'm going to return to her. I'm going to be a scientist. That's what I'm going to be. So I replaced that fear with this confidence. And that confidence comes from my own imagination, what I wanted to be, the scientist. So that's very important to know because we all have fear. And that fear frees us. And the best way to deal with fear is to replace it with confidence. When I left the country, the moment I got to Denmark, to Red Cross camp, there was a big unknown. And that big unknown was big fear to me. What am I going to do? What's going to happen to me? And again, by observing the people that accepted me, that helped me, I replaced that fear with the confidence in those people who helped me, who accepted me. So again, replacing fear with confidence. And number three in my life, one of the biggest fear was those 3 bullies. When I was 14 and schoolyard, these 3 bullies, every day, they were going to hurt me. They were going to beat me up. And imagine you have no friends, no family, nobody to ask questions, nobody to ask for support. And there's constant threat of 3 bullies. Because you look different, because you're not like them, and you are tiny, you are skinny. And that fear was overwhelming. And again, I replaced that fear with confidence by relying on myself. And relying on myself was like starting to doing push-up in the morning. Simply, I said to myself, if I'm strong enough, if I look strong, at least this will be a deterrence. So I started in the morning in my room. I had no access to gym or equipment to do weightlifting or anything. I started doing simple push-up. I started with 10, and then 20, and 30, and then 50, and then 300 every morning. And believe it or not, until today, I still do the push-up because it's in my system. And back to those bullies. After 1 or 2 months, something started to happen to my body. And I started to get bigger in muscles, and I started to also mentally feel more confident. Believe it or not, you know, you heard the story. If you go into a water and there is shark in the water, when you are in the water, when you are afraid, your heartbeat is irregular, it goes up. And the shark in the water senses that. And that attracts the shark towards you. Again, confidence. So when I started after 3 months to look strong and to be strong, my confidence radiated around me. And believe it or not, that kept them at distance, those 3 bullies. In fact, I wrote it also in the book that I never got into any physical fight. I always wanted to learn things, read books, but that muscles which I had to build up and look and be fit was enough to keep them at a distance. When I saw that, you know, those people, those 3 bullies stayed away from me, and I actually got fitter and fitter and stronger, I felt, you know, if I can do this, I can do anything. If you look at life, it's full of fear. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen if I do this? What's going to happen at work, home, school? What's going to happen next? The unknown. But in my book, I put it step by step, how you can break it down into a smaller step and overcome those fear that can freeze you. As I said, fear is a good thing, but not to freeze you. When I wrote the book, I decided to do it as practical as possible and as easy as possible for you. So in overcoming fear, and in this chapter of bullying section, I put, for example, exercise of, for instance, number one exercise is write down all your skills and talents. Because when we are afraid, when we are bullied, we think we are good for nothing. We think, so what's wrong with me? You know, we forget all of the good things that we have. And because of the bully, they point us to the negative side, that we don't have anything. We are no good. But I wrote it here. It's one of the steps is to write down all your skills and talents, anything. You know, when I'm saying anything, that means anything that you're good at. And this is a part of journaling again, that you write down things that's on your mind and put it on a piece of paper. It gives clarity in your mind. Just take a look around. A lot of people were bullied, even famous people, and they overcame it. And you can do that too. It's just not a problem with you. This problem is everywhere. Michael Phelps, one of the greatest swimmer of all time, with so many gold medals and Olympic medals. He had long arms, so he was bullied. And again, as you see here, he did overcome bullying and became this great swimmer of all time. Prince Harry, because his red hair, again, the color of his red hair, he was bullied. But it didn't stop him to become captain in the Army Air Corps. So as you see here, even famous people get bullied, and yet they overcome it, and they move forward in their life, and they become the best they can be. So whenever someone is bullying you, you get bullied anywhere, remember, there are simple steps that you can take to overcome it. And I put the steps here in my book, and it's available for you to get it. Keys to a Fearless Life, and you can download at medituzi.com. Take care.